But even with 2 races to go, Martin West could win the championship this weekend if he scores a first and a second or 2 wins, and that'll be because of the drop scores. So 332 is not necessarily taken into account, because looking further down, no notes about drop scores actually. I must also say thank you so much to Joshua Barrett, who wanted to be here but does live quite some distance away, and I know he's got a busy day at Silverstone planned tomorrow as well. So rather than heading all the way up to Cheshire from Norfolk to then go back to Silverstone, he's not here, but he is keeping us up to date. We are underway as well, with potential here for the Martin West car to perform very strongly indeed. Into Old Hall Corner they go, 15 minutes on the clock, and it looked to be, have we got problems coming through Old Hall? Yes, we've got a spinner. But amazingly, Pip Hammond, everybody avoided the spinning car. Can't identify that at the moment. Hopefully we'll do in just a tick though.
Yeah, that was a heart-in-mouth moment there. It's still under yellows. The car has got going again, so we'll try and identify that shortly. But meanwhile, we've got a lead battle approaching Island, and it looks like that's West on the outside. So that's a brave move round there. It's a very quick corner, even in these conditions.
Especially as you don't know what it's like at race speed. So if that was Martin West, he made it unbelievably. It's very easy to run out wide through Island, hit the grass, hit the gravel, and then either go into the barrier on the right or indeed the left. But he shut all that out of his mind, and potentially now is into the race lead. That is Martin West in the all-black car that leads the way then from Ben Powney. I think that's Ben in second position. Oh, no, actually, it might be Benjamin Dade. It is Dade in number 17. So that means that Powney's back to third and is just about holding on to third position, with possibly Tom Collar challenging. Somebody else is backwards now.
Mason.
Yeah. And that was... Where did Mason start then? At 16th position. Look, strange place to lose it there, whether it was a moment that then rippled all the way up the hill, but it could have been a lose out of Britain's, and rolling backwards down the track over Hilltop.
It's been a good first lap here from Carl. Oh, we've lost the leader.
West is off. I did wonder whether that might be too wide, and into the gravel, and well, he's kept the momentum going. Don't dig in, keep that going if you possibly can. The rear wheels are almost at the base of the stones. He's got it out, in fairness. That's excellent driving, and it was very easy there for the red mist to descend and just throw the thing into the gravel and not be seen again. So incredibly, we had local yellows. They should be able to clear now, and Martin West lost a hatful of places, but at least he's still in the race.
Yeah, the Ma7da powered traction engine dug itself out there. Yeah, good effort to get out. It did. Oh, we've lost another.
That's not Martin West, but it is another black car, which is the 88 of Chris Southall. And Southall trying to work his way out as well, which he will do.
Been a big first lap there for number 21, Imran Khan, who's up to 4th from 8th on the grid. That's a good effort there. That's a car that's not been in the top 5 a great deal this year, so he's obviously relishing these. No, it's someone else at least.
Yeah, the Gulf-like colours of...
Oh, it has made the barrier, number 66.
Lucas Batt. So Lucas nose in, but not too big a connection, so he is able to locate reverse and start to get going. That tells you just how treacherous it is, though. Looking out of our commentary position at pit out, there is an awful lot of rainfall on the pit road and also the racetrack beyond that. So if you see cars that are still on the track, they're doing an incredible job. Benjamin Dade, it was actually, who led across the line from Ben Powney because of that incident with Martin West. And West, where did he come through? 15th place after that off at Druids. So Dade had the road open up for him, but no longer did he have Martin West to try and judge the conditions from. That was a little bit similar to what was going on in the Toyota MR2 race earlier on. This is the JDM Plates Ma7da Championship then. We've had 4 of the 15 minutes.
And a breathless 4 minutes it's been. I mean, you could see in the previous race, the driving line sort of dried out a little bit on the start-finish straight, but it's almost completely sheened up all the way across. It's a good lead this for Dade. He's pulled a little gap there. He looked like he might be the more confident of the 2 leaders prior to West's mistake. So it'd be interesting to see if the others can keep up. A big slide for Powney on the exit of Druids.
Looking back through the wins that we've had so far this year after visits to Croft, Castlecombe, Cadwell and Brands Hatch, it's either been Martin West or Craig Land predominantly. There were 2 wins though for Tom Collar at Cadwell Park, but Ben Dade hasn't won a race, Ben Powney hasn't won a race, so we could have a completely different result in this one, but there is a long way to go yet, so shouldn't count any chickens.
Big lock up for Khan on the way into turn 1. That's 3rd place gone as well. Number 22, Tom Collier in the gravel. See if he can. He's kept it in play. He's back on the track. Maybe not lost too much there. Still in 4th.
Well, Khan's just done the fastest lap of the race. That was the first racing lap, in fairness, but he's clearly carrying some good speed with a 2:16.3. That is 2 tenths quicker than anybody ahead of him.
Yeah, they're all struggling with that first corner there. Certainly with Khan, I don't think his front right wheel turned for about 400 yards, so he did well to keep it on.
Massive understeer for everybody. These cars don't weigh a great deal, and when they're not able to go as fast as they would like, then there's no downforce for how much that counts, I suppose, but they're relying entirely on the mechanical grip. It's very easy for the cars to pop up onto the top of the water surface and aquaplane towards the gravel trap. Martin West will speak one of the first to that. So here's Dade in the all-white, followed by Ben Powney. They're at Britain's, and plenty of curb taken for Tom Collar in... did you say Collar at the moment?
Yeah.
So he's lost places. So that might be Imran Khan now in 3rd position.
Yeah, they're running the livery off the 90s rotary Ma7da Le Mans car, the orange and green on that one. So, yeah, he took loads of curb there. Whether he's found that actually bumping over that gives you a bit more grip, just in the circumstances. These cars will certainly be sliding around all over on top of the surface because, again, they're a racing tyre, but there's not a load of tread to them. We've got a battle down there. That's Martin West recovery continuing, passing number 5. That's just got Wells down at the chicane.
Yeah.
It's still sideways at Knickerbrook. He's at maybe another frustrated drive here. A lot sliding the car around a lot. Inevitable in these conditions, in these layouts with the cars and the rear axle. They've got quite a basic thing. So there's not a lot of traction available.
But I kind of got a feeling for driving styles from the earlier Toyota MR2 race, in fairness. So sort of used to now cars being well out of shape. And we may not call it all the time, because it sort of normalises it after a little while, but it's still a bonkers way to be circulating and off the road in a big way. At Old Hall Corner was Ben Powney. So Powney unable to get the car stopped. We were talking about aquaplaning, and there are deliberately tyres and also big foam barriers, and Ben Powney showing signs of being able to clamber out of that car, which is excellent news. And actually upwardly mobile as well. So hopefully he may be a bit sore and a bit shaken, but good to see that he's able to get out of there. And now at Lodge at gravel trap, there's another one that has landed there in the stones, which is number 73. That's Simon Walker, who started from 22nd position. So yellows on the approach to Old Hall. If this continues, Pete, there might be a decision from the race director as to whether we should be continuing or perhaps to throw the safety car. But for the time being, well, certainly Benjamin Dade will be happy for things to continue because he's on course for his first win of the season.
Yeah, I mean, the safety car's not twitched yet, so it looks like we might just be covering this on the yellows. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything about that car right now, so hopefully we'll be able to continue the race just under caution. It'd be a shame to lose this close lead battle that we've got to a safety car, but obviously the safety of these things does have to come first.
Only because where Ben Powney has fallen off the road and into the barriers, it's very easy for another car to go in that direction, of course, but you could argue he's gone slightly earlier than normally incidents at Old Hall happen, so you might have made it a bit further around the corner. Plus the fact that after a few laps with the double waved yellows that will stay out, everybody knows that that car's there, so you can't overtake. You need to be, well, with the double waved yellow, that's slow down and be prepared to stop, strictly speaking. And still the decision to continue green everywhere else. Here's the 17 car then of Benjamin Dade, and it is now the 21 car of Imran Khan, who's come up from 8th position. Now, remember that a couple of the cars that started ahead of him have had moments, both cars on the front row, in fact, Martin West and Ben Powney. Tom Collar is also, Collar had his incident as well, didn't he? So this is almost the last of the runners, if you like. 22 is Collar, so he's still there in third position, in fairness, and trying to hang on to the coattails of Imran Khan, but Khan is the most upwardly mobile.
Yeah, it's been a while getting the car competitive for Khan, but he's a successful driver, 2019 Club Enduro champion, and a race winner in Classic Stock Hatch back in the day. So it's coming good for him now. He's always preferred these rear-wheel drive cars to the little front-wheel drive Fiesta that he used to drive. So certainly the conditions are playing into it, but he's adapted really well.
5 minutes to survive for Benjamin Dade and Imran Khan. Khan's 1.4 seconds away from the race leader. Tom Collar, who has got a quick car, he was quicker this morning than Imran Khan. And what was the distance between he and Dade, who leads the race? Only 0.2 of a second. So, and there's that a lead change. I think it may well be. That's Collar coming through in third position. So, just waiting for the leaders. Are they ahead? Yeah, okay, fine. It's just these cars look very similar there. Collar is there in the 22, and then it is the 25 in behind David Bowen. But in front of these cars, it's still the white of Dade leading Imran Khan. So apologies for the slight confusion there. There's the 17 car that leads the way, and Imran Khan in the 1991 Ma7da Le Mans winning tribute colours. Here off the road is Mark Crawford, but that's more of a mechanical drama, I would think. Car starts to roll back briefly, but he's able to apply the handbrake. But that is the other thing, because water to this extent is going to wreak havoc with things like electronics. Yeah,
these are Ma7da 1800 engines, and all the ECU and everything has to be grafted across as well, and none of it's used to being out in the open. So it'll be a bit of a voyage of discovery for a lot of these drivers if they haven't had a lot of wet running. A big understeer for Collar on the way in there, but he handled it comfortably. Oh no, that's a spin and get going again, number 8.
Jack Chapman, who possibly lost it on the brakes. We didn't see the initial part of the incident. But again, worrying times when you have got a stopped car in spray. Yellow flags clearly are going to be waved rapidly, as they still are, by the way, at Old Hall Corner. So still no overtaking permitted because of Ben Powney's car, which is into the barrier. Did look like quite a bit of damage might have been done to the front of that car, but thankfully Ben was able to step away unaided.
The Martin West recovery drive continues apace. Another fastest lap there. He's a second quicker than anyone else on the track, and back up to 5th place. So
Martin recovering from that first lap incident where he understeered off at Druids, but did amazingly well to keep the momentum through the gravel. Gravel at the best of times is not ideal to be driving through, but when it's wet, it's, I suppose, compacts a little less, and therefore you can drive through it. But he ran the risk of digging those rear wheels, the rear axle, into the gravel. Did incredibly well to then recover out of Druids 2 and back up to 5th. So you've got the 3 leaders here. So Dade, Khan and Collar. Then Bowen's a bit more distant, isn't he? Yeah, 8 seconds or so back. And there's every possibility that Bowen could be challenged by Martin West in the closing stages, as Imran Khan is very sideways on the approach to Knickerbrook now.
Yeah, just dropped a wheel onto the white line on the entry there. He'll just give himself a little scare, and that's let Collar. Oh, Collar's gone round again.
Collar off the road at Knickerbrook this time. So he's now looking to try and locate first gear, but also a safe place to rejoin. That will elevate Martin West another position. So Bowen goes through, West goes through. That's for now 3rd and 4th places. Martin West is the fastest driver on the track, 2:15.4 he was able to do. Again, a squirrely moment on the approach to Old Hall Corner for somebody in the middle order, but the race leader's about to tick off another lap, and this will begin the final lap of this 15-minute race for Benjamin Dade, who is well aware of the whereabouts of Imran Khan, possibly closer than he's ever been. The distance between them is 0.4 of a second as they cross the line, but there's no overtaking at the first corner. That doesn't stop Imran Khan from closing the gap, of course, and he can get right on the rear bumper of Benjamin Dade, who was wiggling his way out of Old Hall. now Khan desperate to get out of the spray and possibly dive bomb into Cascades at the last possible moment. Who's going to appear first? It is the white car of Benjamin Dade, but he's going to have to work for it on the final lap.
Yeah, that was a big entry there from Khan. Locked up the fronts again. It's a tricky balance to get these cars set up for braking. Obviously, there isn't a braking system built for this car. It's all bits that you try and set up for yourself. He's very close on the approach to Ireland, though. Doesn't seem to be phased by the spray as they approach Shell Oils. Watch Imran to take a high line here. The Days of Thunder line up around the white line at the top. He's tried that a few times now, and it just seems to help him off the exit of the corner.
Neither of these drivers have won a race so far. They're desperate to do it. And the question is it going to be too much for them to ask, and is it going to end in tears for both? I sincerely hope not, because it's been a superb race to this point and very clean. But if Imran Khan has got a chance, I think really he's not going to be close enough this time into Hislops. So his only opportunity now will be at Lodge, I would suggest, assuming Ben Dade can keep it clean and neat and tidy through these three corners. The chicane at Hislops, the corner at Knickerbrook, and for the final time they'll head up Clay Hill. I fear for Imran here that he might be just a bit too far away, but he does like Druids.
Yeah, there was a Dade was flirting with the edge of the track there, very close, but no risk, no reward. On the approach to Druids here, nice and tidy, doesn't squirm on the way in. It's on Khan to make the gap there. He's fighting the car around on the exit of Druids. Maybe just lost a touch of momentum on the approach to the final corner.
Still lots of water being kicked up by Benjamin Dade. That might be deliberate to make the process for Imran Khan as difficult as possible. But he has slowed the car, has Dade, sufficiently. They'll head through Deer Leap, and a new, different winner. It was always going to be, depending on who won this race, and it'll be Benjamin Dade to take the opener in the JDM Plates Ma7da 7 Championship by 0.6 of a second ahead of Imran Khan, who was seeking his first win of 2025. Third position completed by the recovering Martin West, and I think he'll be very, very happy with that, considering it keeps his points tally continuing. And the big off now, just as he crossed the line for Bowen, but he has finished the race. He didn't make the barrier, did he? But just two wheels on the grass. Well, that's the way to celebrate a top 5 finish, I suppose, in style. It could have gone a lot more wrong than that. But David Bowen, who didn't have the speed of the top 3, I think he'll admit that, was about 8 seconds adrift, was swallowed up by Martin West, but yeah, almost did a top 5 victory donut there right in front of us. Yeah,
that's the old PlayStation handbrake finish, isn't it? But luckily for David, he's kept it going, and he's back underway now, so he can at least it wasn't live on YouTube for everyone to see.
Well, that's true. Yeah, just brush that under the carpet, eh? Which is probably what the marshals are going to have to do with the earth that has been brought onto the straight as well, as if it wasn't as difficult to negotiate already. But there's now quite a bit of mud on the racing line, which may have to be addressed. Plus, there's the repair work at Old Hall Corner for a sorry-looking Ben Powney's car. Not until it's brought out of the tyres and the recticell barriers will Ben be able to assess that damage and work out whether he can be racing later on. I'm interested in now how long there is until the second race. Build for a 4:30 start, so he's got the best part of 4 hours in order to sort that car out. But yeah, that race, as a wet race so often will produce, it is somewhat out of the mould. But Martin West, it was important in Craig Land's absence, and as I mentioned, not in Craig's control that, and we're wishing you well, Craig. Hopefully you were able to watch along with us. But Martin West, with Craig not here, wanted points, and third place will be good enough for that.
Yeah, I mean, he can't be displeased with getting all the way back up to third place there. Again, he'll be kicking himself over the initial mistake for sure, but it gave us a great race between the top two, Dade and Khan, two drivers who haven't even been on the podium yet this season, battling for the win. So a great show there. And the Powney accident, we've got the results here now. Benjamin Dade likes to flag pretty much. Yeah. A little battle with Martin West ahead of Imran Khan, with by far a best finish for him in that car, and Martin West completing the top 3.
And with thanks to Josh Barrett, Ben Day's never won a race before. So best result came last year with a third, which was also in the wet. Imran Khan was going for his first ever podium. So that's a tick in the box as well. Martin West recovering to third. Then Ayrton Rogers ahead of a spinning after the flag, David Bowen. And the rest you saw, with the cars now heading out of Lodge Corner and into the Parc Fermé area, which is considerably damper than it was for the previous race. So hopefully Kieran Mogg and his accompanying staff have got suitable attire. I'm always told that there's no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing. Maybe we'll get a word on that from Kieran Mogg, who's catching up with the winner.
Thank you very much. As you can see, the rain is a lot heavier than it was at the start of that race. You can see there that Benjamin Jade and Imran Khan are just having a quick chat after their on-track battle. Let's quickly jump in with Ben Jade if I can. Ben, you put up a sterling defence, and I kind of feel it wasn't necessarily a side-by-side defence. It was more just a mental defence.
That was hard work, yeah. My visor was steaming up as well, so I could hardly see. So I could just see Khan in my rear-view mirror, and I was just thinking, manage the gap, don't make a mistake, get the first win. I was quite lucky with well, is Powney okay? Were the lads okay that went off?
I believe so.
Quite lucky with some of the fast guys, of course, going out there. But yeah, awesome race. Very wet. Soaking wet. I need to get dry for the second race.
And obviously, it started to get heavier the more that you went into the race as well. And it definitely seemed like it was just a case of who can survive the length of the race. How difficult was it to keep it pointing in the right direction?
Very, very difficult. You had to avoid the standing water. So as the rain got heavier, the standing water, you brake on the standing water, you aquaplane, you're in the tyres. So it's as the track gets progressively wetter, it's spotting those puddles of water and avoiding them is the key, and I managed to do that. Very, very happy. Thank you to DAC Motorsport and Axon Services as well for allowing me to do this.
Well, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Cheers, thank you very much. Let's have a quick chat with Imran Khan. Imran, there's obviously a few people that kind of dropped off during that race. Again, you couldn't quite sort of make the move on Ben there, but how difficult was it?
Oh, unbelievable. Couldn't see anything. I could just about see the corner posts to brake, but even that was a struggle in the spray. So as soon as I got close to him, I had to back off a little bit. It was so difficult with the spray, but I'm absolutely buzzing to be second. I've never been so happy to be second in my life. So yeah.
And obviously, you know, for the viewers at home, how difficult is it to drive in that spray? You know, how do you spot your reference points and everything?
It changes every lap, so it's really difficult. You just have to have the brake feel, and if you're locking up, it's really difficult to tell. But if you're locking up, you're flying past the corner, that I think a lot of people did. But yeah, even coming onto the home straight, it's spinning up when you change into fourth gear, get a big opposite lock. So, oh god, it was great though. Really good fun.
Well, obviously you've got one more race later on today. Do you reckon you can take the win?
Why not?
That's what I'd like to hear. Absolutely. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you. Let's have a quick chat with Martin West, who's just getting his helmet off still. Martin, I'd like to jump in. From the start of that, it's almost a bit of like get your helmet off for you. No, it's all good. Don't worry.
Prepared.
Firstly,
yes.
From one standpoint, it can almost be a bit of a surprise podium because there's a few people that had to drop off. On the other hand, fastest lap of anyone.
Yeah, it was a mistake. I just went far too quick into the racing Ben there. So instead of having me sensible head on, I was like, no, I'm not letting him pass. But it was good fun, but I just overcooked it in there and went in the stones. And I thought, well, I'm not getting out of it. But luckily, where it's so wet, I managed to get a little bit of traction. But I don't know if you have a look at me wheel there, how that survived, I do not know.
What happened?
As I went in, it's obviously picked it up and gone in as I've in the stones, but the car, it felt like it went up on its side when it bit into the stones, and then it was just a case of, the red mist comes down, right, let's just try and get back through the pack. I could see a couple falling off, but it's so difficult back there in the spray. That was the biggest thing. But yeah, I did see Tom go around. I see him. I don't know. He must have had a spin as well. So I don't know where he finished. But yeah, no. It's just you just got to try and forget the silly mistake you made. Head down, keep going. But the usual story. It just seemed like it went on forever, that race. But I've never raced in anything like that. That was like monsoon conditions.
It definitely was bad, and it looked like it got quite a lot worse throughout the race as well. We saw many people spin off. So did it seem a bit more of a case of, right, don't necessarily fight wheel to wheel, just try and survive?
Yeah, to be honest, when it's better to have it absolutely flooded like this than it is that horrible greasy stuff in between, if you see what I mean. So yeah, it's just try and pick out a line that's half decent, if you see what I mean, and just keep going. But I felt like I could catch him. I could see people in the distance. I thought Ben still must be in the lead. I couldn't believe it when I saw him again. But yeah, just pleased to get it home. And like I say, how that stone has survived, I don't know. But yeah, count me lucky chickens.
Absolutely. We've still got one race later on today, so perhaps an improvement to later.
Well, yeah, don't do a stupid thing and race Ben when you shouldn't be racing Ben. But yeah, you can't help it.
No, absolutely. Well, congratulations on P3.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Right. That's the second race all done and dusted. Now, obviously, there's still the car in the gravel being recovered. So what we're going to do is going to do a quick ad break, and then we'll be back with the Mighty Minis and the Classic Stock Hatches just after that.